Okay, so we are back. I am sorry, I don't know if you guys are back here or not, or if you guys went your separate ways. But sorry for the hiccup. I'm gonna call this part 2, and we shall continue. Let's see if our watcher comes back. So now, again, we're at 20% battery, so I'm gonna try to do this as fast as possible. Oh, there you go. You guys are coming back. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And we shall continue. Again, I'm sorry for the hiccup. I have 20%, so I'm gonna do this as fast as possible for you guys. But before we start, I have to go back and do some change to the setting and go with it. But again, yes, if you guys have any question, meanwhile, don't forget to ask me. Leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, and share the video so people can join us and watch this video. Anyway, I'm just going back to my video section, to the last video that I uploaded, and I'm gonna try to get the same setting and change the setting for that one. We were live for a good hour and a half, live part 1 we call that one, and we shall come back here and put this live part 2. It's a little hard to do this part 2. There you go. How to reef tank maintenance the right way. I'm just adding some tagline to the video, and gonna go back to cleaning the system. The water is about ready. The reason that I'm waiting for a little bit, because everything is mostly done. I am just waiting for the water to be a little bit mixed. It's been an hour that since I added the salt, and I think we are ready now to introduce the new water to the system, take out the old water, clean the gravel a little bit. I clean my gravel sand for about I could say once every other month, and that's when I clean my gravels. So that's what we're gonna do today, and we're gonna clean the gravel system in my tank, and we shall change the water and take it from there. All right, thank you very much, Reef Spy. What the parameters of your tank? The parameters of my tank, my nitrate is at 0, nitrite is at 0, phosphate is at 0, the pH is at 8.3, between 8.3 and 8.4. My temperature, I keep it around 78, 79. Again, what else? Measurement. Let me go to measurement and give you accurate result. Average pH is 8.4. Which one is this one? Yeah, I try to keep everything. Nitrate is at 0, phosphate is at 0. Magnesium average is around 1,340. Calcium is average around maximum 560, minimum 456, and alkalinity maximum 8.9, minimum 8.9. I keep it right there, and yeah, that's how I try to keep it. So we shall continue with the water change. Now, to do the water change, I have 2 buckets, and I'm gonna empty this bucket. Inside of my bucket, I have a little markings. If you look right here, that says 10 gallon. So this is 10 gallon to this mark. Since I made more water, I'm gonna do more water change, but this way I know exactly how much water to take out, and I won't take out more than what I need, and then I don't have any water. So now I am gonna stop my circulation pumps, my 2 MP10s, and I'm gonna get my trusty water hose from here, and we shall go right at it. There you go. Now again, once a month I clean the sand. And today, since I have neglected this aquarium for 3 weeks, we shall clean the sand. The water come out. Go back here, come to the other side. Oops. Clean the sand a little bit. And just go right at it. It's the funnest part of changing water, because it feels really nice when you see all the gunks coming out and your tank is about to get clean, and so that's the funnest part. So yeah, like I said, I see a question that was asked, how much money I spend it on this, and it's that didn't spend it all at once. It took a lot of time for me to set this up, go right with it, and then do it the right way. Did not just happen overnight. Alright. And be very careful when I when I clean the sand around my corals, especially these sensitive corals. Must be very, very careful, because you don't want to damage them, you don't want to pour a lot of sand on them. And then if for some reason you poured some sand on them, you need to make sure to clean it off or push them off of them so it won't hurt their tissue. And they can bounce back. Pretty much the gist of it. Almost about to reach the 10-gallon mark. Now, another thing that I do is that right before I get finished, I go to my I put the tube inside of my return, and I try to get all the gunks out of there. So we shall continue doing that. I need to raise the tripod a little bit and make sure the tripod is up to give you guys a better angle of it. There you go. Sorry about that. And thank you guys for joining back again. Sorry for the hiccup. Okay. So now we shall clean the return section. I'm gonna take my little pump that I have right outside, right back here. Didn't happen this time. Let's see, I see another question. Is that moving around the sand to stop algae? Yes, that helps algae build up. It's also a good thing to do to clean your system before you do that. So if you're doing that, yeah, the live stream for that, it's gonna be around, I think, 6 or 7. Probably 7 o'clock, that's when I'm gonna do the live stream, because this is gonna take till about 4 o'clock to finish this, and then I shall be back for the fidget cube. Yeah, today I'm gonna do the live stream of the fidget cube, unboxing of it, and I shall post it on Monday. There you go. Now we are cleaning the bottom of the return section, and as you can see, I'm pushing the water around using the little pump that I have inside of here to try to get all those gunk and nasty stuff out of my return section. The return section is drained. Drain the return section, and now we are ready to pour back the water. So in order to pour back the water, I just leave this right here. I bring up close my freshly water that I have made, and I don't use bucket to pour water inside of my system because I do not want to disturb my inhabitant. So I come back down and I get the pump that I have inside of my water, and I simply get this one, stick it right here, throw it back inside of the bucket, and voila, we have a self-sufficient water changing system that won't disturb any of the fish inside of, or any of the coral inside of my tank. Temperature, salinity, and everything matches what's inside of my system. So we shouldn't have any problem. All right. Now while that's filling up, I have to do a little trimming. Now I know some of you guys may get upset at this, but this coral right here is getting too big, and unfortunately I don't have anybody to give them the frags of it, so I have to do the trimming myself and cut it. So I'm basically gonna take the rock out of the water, bring it down, and just trim it the best that I can. You had a little snail over there. Put this right here. Let's give me freezer. Problem. I need my tweezer to take that out. Okay, now after we have our tweezer, we're gonna take out, we're gonna just trim the corals, the excess coral off of here. Now, unfortunately, I don't have anybody to give them the frags of this, but for soft coral, I kind of trim this every other week, because if I don't trim them, they're gonna take over my whole system, and then I can't control it. So the best way is that every other week since I like them, I like the movement of them. I like the zinnia's movement. I keep them in my tank, but I kind of trim them every other week. To get less and less and less stuff on it. They grow extremely fast. Like these zinnias right here, they grow crazy, and if you don't control them, they can take over your tank. They can take over your system in a matter of no time. In no time, they take over your whole system. And they can get very crazy, and they stink. When you take them, when you frag them like this, they stink like hell. And they can become nuisance. They can take over all your other corals and kill them, because they're gonna fight for real estate, and I tell you what, they'll win. If there is a battle in your system for space, these grow crazy and they will suffocate other corals, because they will take over the light from them, they will take away. But is that moving around the sand to stop algae? Yes. Yes. And so that's it. That's the gist of it. Now that we have it done, I'm gonna rinse it a couple of times, and then I get my bucket. I'm gonna pour it with water from here, put this rock in here, just like that, and I will add Coral RX to it to just reduce the stress, because I give him a lot of stress by fragging it. Couple of drops of Coral RX, shake it, agitate the water a little bit, and I just let them sit in here for about 4 to 5 minutes before I transfer them to my system. As far as the tank, the water is already, the new fresh water is already in there, and it is looking nice. This is looking really, really nice. So I already have cleaned the cover of my return section. But before placing the cover for the return section, I just make sure I just take all the crap from the back of it. And you guys have to accept my apology. I have to take this phone out of this stand, put it in a charger since I'm at 10%, and I'm asking for another interruption, and I don't want the other interruption. So the water is changed. I have successfully moved about all of the water to the new system. I just keep this elevated, put something underneath it. And it's a mess when I change water. It's every week, it's a huge mess. So this way I don't have to hold it. And it's gonna keep filling up the water just like this. Another thing that I do, I grab that little pump in the back, agitate the water, make sure all this gunk go back to my sump and get stuck in my filter socks. So before adding the water, before adding anything to the system, I'm gonna start drying this up. This is the backslash of my tank. So I'm gonna dry it up, make sure it's dry. Since I washed it with regular water, I don't want anything to go back to my system. So I just make sure it's dried and it doesn't have anything on it. I still see a lot of gunk on it, but if you clean it every week, eventually it will clean. But since I didn't clean it for 3 weeks, this is the best that I can get it. Gonna spray it with a little bit of water and vinegar solution and let it sit. Now the vinegar solution is gonna help it get clean a little easier, and it's gonna get ready. So now it's been about 4 minutes, 3 minutes that I have my fragged coral sitting inside of this water with the Coral RX. I'm gonna take it out, rinse it, put it inside of my old water from my system, shake it a little bit, take it out, shake it a little bit. I don't want to introduce any Coral RX to my system. Take it out and place it back in my system. Just like this. Back where it was. And now it looks much better. That's it. Looks much better. Now again, for you guys that have just joined me, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate your guys' comment and your guys' patience. Now I want to show you guys a little trick that I showed you guys when I started this online session. See, if I want to show you guys the color of my aquarium, it's really hard. With a pair of regular sunglasses, if you want to take a picture of the actual color, check this out. You bring it in front of it, and that's it. You can now see the colors a little better. Anyway, the system is nice and quiet. The waters have already filled and it is emptied. So I'm gonna remove the power from the plug. And bring this one down. And that's it. Looks very nice. Now I'm gonna plug back in my wave makers, both of them, to agitate the water, give the water a little move that it needs. And already looks much better. So now I'm gonna go back to my backsplash. I'm gonna try to clean it. Let me set you guys down for a second. And check the angles that you guys are sitting right now. Go right at it. This is a tedious job, but if it's cleaned properly, it looks very nice. Now again, this is the return section of my aquarium. I take it out once in a while and I try to deep clean it so it won't look as bad. Spray it with some more water vinegar solution and let it sit a little bit more. Alright, so now in order to take this water and dump it out, I don't want to break my back. So the way that I do it is that I set it right back, and give me 1 second till I set it up, and then I'll show you. It's a little hard when you're a one-man show, so give me a second, guys. I just pull it to the kitchen or to the bathroom, wherever you are located, and you have a drain. I take my tube, just like this, and take my pump. See, I want to do it without no mess. I want to save my back because this gets really heavy. So, the way that I do it is that I have my old water right here. I have it connected to a pump. That pump is connected to a line that is coming and going right inside of a drain. No mess, no fuss. And that's it. That way I won't break my back changing that water. Aquarium looks nice already, and we shall continue. Again, I want to thank you guys for staying with me for this long and continuing watching my video. And now I'm gonna go continue cleaning the back of the aquarium. Now if you want to give it a more detailed, deep clean, it's best to leave it in a water vinegar solution overnight and come back at it tomorrow morning, and then it will be really clean. But I can't have a live session that long. So I'm going to take it out, bring it back here, now that it's cleaned, and put it right back in here. Just like this, nice and easy. That's it. Bring my return nozzles down. And voila. Looks much better. right? With that backslash on. Looks way better. I like this already. Very nice. Okay. Now we shall continue with changing. Let me see what's the sorry about that. We shall continue with our cleaning process. And what next is that we have to do is to clean the water inside of a sump. I don't know why it's lagging, but there you go. Now in order to clean the water in our sump, like I showed you guys, I made some extra water. So I'm gonna grab my trusty pump and throw it inside of the sump, just like that. Put this end to the bucket. Okay. Just like this. Turn the power on and just try to suck up all those debris that is sitting underneath my sump. Just agitate the water in the sump and try to collect as much gunk as possible. Again, I'm agitating the sump. I'm taking out the water, the excess water. I'm gonna turn on my return pump, check my levels. Return on. Let the water come back to the tank so we have circulation, and then check to see where I'm standing as far as the water level. Takes a couple of minutes for it to adjust and get to that sweet spot. Now, this line that you see right here, this shows where my water level should be. So I know the water is supposed to be a little bit less. I'm gonna give it a couple of more minutes for it to adjust. It hasn't adjusted yet. And then after it's adjusted, I will take out more water if needed. Or I will add more water to it. It is still a work in progress. Once a week, guys. Once a week, live show. Doing the maintenance on my tank for you guys. You guys have asked for it, and I am giving it to you guys once a week. Live show, maintenance of the reef tank. Ask question, whatever question that you have. and I shall answer it for you guys. I shall try my best to answer all you guys' questions about my system, about any reef tank, any hobbies that you guys have, any question that you want to answer, I shall answer. All right. Okay, I guess we are perfect. Right at the spot that we wanted it to be. Our water is leveled and we are good. So we take the pump out and we shall put it inside of here, turn it off. And we're gonna start our next part, which is changing the air cleaner, or as you might call it, CO2 absorbent. I have a CO2 absorbent system in my tank, and I am trying to. What kind of coral do you have, DJ Reef? Welcome to this channel, and I will show you what type of coral do I have. This is my tank. So I have pretty much a mixed array of corals, softy, hardies, and SPS, LPS, kind of the whole charade. And I just did the water change. So the water is a little bit cloudy, but yeah, this is I have bunch of corals. Some of them are those that you can see. So, oops, we shall go back at changing the CO2 absorbent. Now the CO2 absorbent is connected to my protein skimmer, and the tank for it is right back here. Take it out. Open it up. And that's it. That's the CO2 absorbent. This is what needs to be changed. Look at the pink color. That pink color indicates that it's time to be changed. Whenever, the good thing about this absorbent is that the color will change, and you will know when is the time to change it. And to change it, I have Bulk Reef Supply BRS CO2 absorbent that I use for my water change. Have you made any mistakes? Yes, I have made a lot of mistakes. One of the mistakes that I made was not having enough precautions. And I had a time that my tank, something happened to my return, got clogged, and my tank flooded. So in order to combat that, I bought Apex, one of the Apex modules that lets me know the breakout box. And I connected to my top of my tank, and I can tell whenever my tank's water level, right here, let me show it to you guys. Whenever the water level gets higher than this, let me take this one out. Whenever the water level comes up and gets high, this will come up and it will shut down the return. Shut down the return pump. Stop pumping water back to my tank. You know, this is the mistake that I made, but with a breakout box, I fixed it. And I get text message, I get emails, and then I know that, oh my god, something is wrong with my system, I have to fix it, and then I come back and fix it. This is one of the mistakes that I made. In my other aquariums, I made plenty of mistakes. This aquarium, I try to implement every safe thing that is possible to make as less of a mistake as possible. But in my old days, and to this date, I'm not perfect. I still make a lot of mistakes. So, going back at changing the CO2 absorbent, I'm gonna toss this out into the trash, refill it with new CO2 absorbent, and we shall be back. It's a hassle doing this maintenance. It usually takes me around, see, now that I'm talking and I'm doing it, it takes longer. It's been already 2 hours. But if I don't talk and if I focus, it usually takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So it's definitely a job. Definitely it's a job. CO2 absorbent is filled. It's a little bit filled. Empty some of it. We had another question. LOL, sorry for all the... Oh no, and ask me any question that you have. I'm happy to answer all your questions. And for CO2 absorbent, you need to add some water, a little bit, to the end of this chamber. So I'm gonna go and add some fresh water to the bottom of the chamber. And I'll show you guys how much. Now this CO2 absorbent is really good. If you have pH issue, if your pH is too low, this will make such a big difference in your system, such a big difference. To see this much water, that's it. Just a little bit at the bottom. And this will help kickstart the whole thing. You see? And I'm gonna toss in the CO2 absorbent right inside of it. And that's it. I shall now connect it. I am happy to answer any question that you guys ask. That's the whole reason that I'm doing the live show. I see a lot of people doing videos, and some of the question gets unanswered because you can't answer every question. And I rather explain the question that somebody asks me rather than typing it. I think I can explain it better. So I'm doing once a week live question and answer while I maintenance my tank. And that's it. Now that we have this, our water as correct level, I'm gonna turn on my protein skimmer. Put it on auto. And we shall have our skimmer making skimates using fresh oxygen that is getting injected to my system. Now again, because I did the water change, this skimmer is gonna act a little crazy. It's gonna do its own thing. Skimmers are crazy. They do whatever they want to do, and sometimes they make a lot of mess, but it will calm down eventually. I'll take this time to clean the glass of my sump. Again, I'm using water vinegar solution. Like I mentioned before, never use any type of how do you say it, cleaning product to clean your tank. It's always best to make your own product rather than using cleaning product, because then you know exactly what's in it. You don't want any chemicals inside of your system. Introducing any chemical to your system can have really, really bad effects. Very nice. nicely cleaned and beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Now one thing that I check every time I do maintenance, I check the water pressure on my GFO reactor. I check to see if it's too much, if it's too little, if it's making a lot of tumble, if it's making no tumble. If it's not tumbling at all, I will not tumble it. I will not bring up the pressure on it. I just change it because I think then the GFO gone bad. Because if you don't make the GFO tumble, I think it's gonna go bad. That's my hairy leg. But yeah. So now I shall check for the GFO making tumble. I need a light. I'm gonna pick out this. Put this one right in the corner where it's supposed to be. And get my flashlight. Check it. Any upgrade plan? Well, I am trying to change the glass. The aquarium, it's really bad. I made it through, I forgot their name. But the glass that I got, it's a very bad aquarium because the return section is too thick, and I want it to be a little bit longer to fill this area, to fill my stand. So yes, I'm trying to change the aquarium and I'm gonna make it taller. But not anytime soon, not in this house. When I move to my own house in a year and a half, and then I will do it. I will actually change this and get a new aquarium. But I'm gonna use the same equipment because the equipment that I purchased are equipments that will be sufficient for any upgrade. And that's the thing, you don't want to buy $100, $200 cheap equipment, not cheap equipment for your size. I think it's better to, if you are planning to upgrade, to buy better equipment that could last you longer. That way if you upgrade, you have the equipment, you don't have to trash your old equipment and purchase new ones. Again, the reason that my skimmer is acting up, it's because I just changed the water. It usually does that for about 20 to 30 minutes, but then it calms itself down. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna change our GFO. GFO gets changed for me once every other week, and it is time for him to be changed. So I will shut off water to it, so it won't receive any water, and simply disconnect it from its source. It's really hard to use this fittings, but oh well. It's always the challenge to take them out. Putting them in, it's really easy. It's taking them out part that has to mess with you. There you go. Now we shall take this out and change our GFO. And here's my GFO reactor. So I'm gonna go ahead, wash this, clean it, put some new GFO in it, and the GFO that I use, let me show it to you guys. This is of course from AtReef Supply. I love their product. I love everything that they produce, and I think they have really good stuff that they sell. By no means this is not sponsored by anybody. Oh, and by the way, this thing that you see right here, this is a Nest smoke detector. Check this out.
Ready in the family room. Press to test.
in case there's smoke right here,
Ready in the family room.
I will know.
Press to test.
I think this is really good. You never know when stuff happens. Do you auto dose or do you do by hand? I used to do by hand, and I got a doser, but then it was too much, so then I got a calcium reactor. And now I don't not dose at all. I have my calcium reactor doing everything for me. Dosing at a steady rate, just as much as my tank need. So no, I do not dose anymore. I hate dosing. It's tedious, takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of hassle, and it's really hard to keep it stable. It's extremely hard to keep it stable. So yes, I use the auto doser. Alright, new GFO. To give my system that extra shiny boost it needs. Throwing out the old GFO. Trash. You know, one thing that you could do with your carbons is that you could smash them. If you have extra carbon right now, you could take a little bit of it, smash it, and get some wood glue, the safe one for the kids. And it's okay if you eat it, because the one that they make for the kids, which they eat it, so it doesn't have any toxic in it. Get that one, get some freshly mint, and mix these together, and then use it as a face mask. It sounds crazy, but it will work. Try Google carbon mask. Carbon facial mask. Yeah. People do it and they get great results. Remove all your facial blackness. Anyway, back to the day. Now I'm adding 10 scoop of carbon to my carbon. 4, not 10. It's 1 table per 10 gallons. So yeah, 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Finally, 10. That's that. Add some water to it. Put the back together. Put the cap on. And that's it. We have successfully changed our carbon. I'm not going to change GFO because I change GFO every month. I did it last month. GFO is good to go. We shall put it back. We have another question. Hey, from Italy, how are you? I'm a flower. Wood workman. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Benedetto, if I'm not. I hope I didn't butcher. I probably butchered it 100%. I'm sure I butchered it, but thank you from Italy and welcome to my live show. I hope you are enjoying your day. Again, I'm doing a maintenance on my tank live, and I answer any question that you guys have or any comment that you guys have. I'd be glad to answer you guys. All right, now that it's back, we shall turn on the pump and let it fill up our system. There you go. As you can see, the protein skimmer is calming down a little bit too, and it's becoming more and more tuned, I could say. So Now the next step is to add some vitamin to the water. The vitamin that I use is Zoe, and it's mineral and amino acid supplement. It's a good supplement. I use it whenever I do water change. Why is the video lagging? Okay, so I do it whenever I do add supplement, and basically I shake it well, and I drop a couple of drops to my sump. That way it gets a little mixed before it's going up. That's it. That's the one that I do. After that, I add a little color enhancing for corals, hard corals. That's the Zeo collection, from the Zeo collection. Since my tank is nutrient free, I can add a little bit of extra nutrient to my system. So I add 2 drops of that. That's it. And then lastly, I add a little bit of food. Now this one, I add to the main system, 3 drops. That will help feed my coral. And then finally, I go to my fridge and I get Phyto Feast, and I add it to my system. Now again, I add this one to my sump so it gets a little mixed, and I shake it well, and I simply add it to my sump. And then that's it. Shake it a little bit. Give my coral a little food so they can munch on. Since they went under a lot of stress while I was doing the water change, that way they're happy, I'm happy. It's about keeping them happy. If I keep them happy, they'll act happy. And then finally, I use a coral vulturizer, and I add this to my system. And then I add this to the main system. 4 drops. That should be plenty enough for them. And as far as bottom goes, that's it. Now I get my iPhone that I have. I clean the glass of it. Make sure it's nice and clean. Turn on the light and check inside of my system. Make sure everything is doing good. Make sure all the parameters are in check. Water is tumbling great. Nothing is misplaced. And I'll take it, turn off the flashlight, and put it back. Now again, this is a dedicated cell phone just for my tank to keep an eye on it. Lastly, before closing the door to this place, spray it with a little bit of water vinegar solution, and make sure I can give it a little last wipe. And then my paper towel for this section is finished. So I'm gonna put a paper towel inside of my tank too, which I'll show you guys in just a second. It's been a long day. So I have a roll of paper towel, old paper towel, it's kicked out, new one goes in, and that's it. This is the sump, maintenance, beautiful, clean, paper towel changed, everything is running smoothly, sufficiently, there's no problem. GFO, and my protein skimmer is making some small bubbles. Nothing's coming back to the system because of the measures that I have. Water is a little bit low, but I have the ATO off as of right now. I'm gonna go right back here. I shall turn on the UV light and turn on ATO. And that's it for downstairs. Downstairs looks clean, looks good. Everything is amazing. And just last checking to make sure everything is going right. I don't have to do anything. The protein skimmer is on. Everything is good. Just to go with you guys again, this is the stand that I built myself. I built the stand myself. This cover. These are magnets, little magnets. And do you know what these little magnets are? They're for the door. And if you look on the door itself, I have those little magnets. Now, this is a DIY job. You take this, and hard to do it with one hand, but 1 second. I have to put this around. You take this door simply like this, and voila, powers it up. No fuss, no fuss. That looks good. That being said, my phone has a little charge for me to put it back on my stand. So I'm going to put it back in the stand, tighten it, turn on my DJI Osmo. And did my door just drop? I think I knocked out one of the magnets. And whenever the magnets gets knocked out, I just super glue them back together. Yeah, these two magnets got knocked out because it tried to put them together fast. Okay, so this is that. Now let's look at the system. It's really clean. From the moment that we built it, we start cleaning it till now. Very nice. Very nice. So we're gonna continue to cleaning the top portion of our tank. And the top portion has a cover. That's the cover for my return section. Because why I went with a cover? First of all, the look. Second of all, I didn't want my fish to jump inside of my return, and I didn't want any light inside of there because it was built in of algae. So with this cover, there's no light in there getting, and the handle matches the handle on my cabinetry. Putting this back on here. And that's it. It fits like a puzzle. cleaning the glass a little bit more. It's really important for you guys to clean the glass of your aquarium, because these little algae, they can make a problem for you. Down in line, they can create big problems for you. So the first thing that you need to do is schedule cleaning your glass. Every other day I clean my glass. Every other day. Without any hiccup. And if I can't clean my glass, I'll have somebody come and clean it. I have my wife clean it. I have my friend clean it if they're here. Or somebody. And if you can't clean it at all, then maybe you should rethink having an aquarium, because this is the easiest maintenance that you can do. And if you cannot keep up with the easiest maintenance, I don't know what to say. So, and there's 4 steps for me cleaning my glass. The first step is using this. The second step is using my Tunzi glass cleaner. And with this, I just kind of go in detail and clean any buildup of residue. Now the front glass may get dirty, but it's okay. We'll come back to the front later. And I'll sit and I'll try to clean my glass, looking at it closely because I don't want to hit my coral, but I want to clean it as much as I can. This is Scully. The part that I have the Scully is the most hardest part, because I don't want to hit him, but the rest of it I can just, and this is the other part that is a little hard. Because I have these 2 coral that are very sensitive, so I have to be really careful when I come down here. Just hit the door. And the reason that this is falling down is because of those magnets that I knocked out. But after I glue the magnets, you should not have this problem again. Front of the glass. This is a patient job. It takes a lot of patience if you want to do it right. If you want to do it good. You have to be patient to get all of those algae built up out. Otherwise, you will do a half-assed job. I do not like doing a half-assed job, so I take my time with it. I look at my glass from different angles and I try to cover every angle of it. That's it. This side is clean. Again, this takes time. You have to be ready to put the time in it. If you do not put the time, it is not gonna be a good job. It's gonna be a half-ass job. Okay, I'm gonna leave the door at the bottom till I glue the magnets to it. Till I glue the magnets, they should not drop at all. Now, in order to glue the magnets, you cannot use any regular glue because it's holding such heavy door. I'll show you guys what glue to use in just a second. As soon as I finished cleaning this, this is a very time-consuming job. But like I said at the beginning of my video, it's been 4 weeks that I have not cleaned the system. So it takes a little time to clean it. And the reason that I didn't clean it is because of this video. I want to do an in-depth cleaning of it. That's why it took a little time. So next thing that I need is the super glue, which I shall bring. And of course I can't find it. It's okay, I shall glue it another time. So the next part is to clean the screen, the glass, one more time. What's the magnet? Tunzi? Yes, it is Tunzi. It's a Tunzi magnet. Clean the glass with the glass cleaner cloth that I have for the final step. That just gives it that extra shine and extra cleansiness. And that's it. So now, clean this side. Problem is that if this cloth gets wet, it's not going to clean at all. Do the other side. The back of the tank. Oh yeah. That happens when you kick it. What's my leg? Nice sound, my leg hit in it. And I was like, it's gonna drop now. Finally it did. Okay. And now that that's clean, I will take my brush this one, and I shall clean the pumps. Should have done that before, but before changing the water, but I forgot. So I'm gonna clean it right now. They're not that dirty, but just I don't like it to have built up. Just giving it a little brush. Just like that. And that's it. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get another paper towel. And go at the glass. Just to clean any residues that the other cloth left. Come back to this side. Clean it. Now that we are almost done with the fun part, which is maintaining our reef tank, I'll clean the edge of it too. Now I have to make another video how to clean the house afterward, because the house is a mess. The system is clean. The system is gorgeous now. It's done. It's clean. This is gonna drop again, but I'm gonna try to keep it on. Yeah. Not happening. Let me see where I put the views. Can't find it. Oh well. If I can't find it, then I can't find it. I have to glue it another time. Maybe in the next week's video it will be glued. So now that it's done, our tank is maintained and clean and beautiful and ready to produce some amazing place for an inhabitant. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Thank you guys for watching. Now I have to go and clean the house. Look at this mess. This is terrible. Wife's not gonna be happy. Thank you for staying tuned. And until the next one, I'll see you guys later.